What's up, guys? Tastes and Artosis here, casters of the GSL in Seoul, Korea, and we are here in New York City
Yes,
for
we
MLG,
are.
the Spring Arena, and we are going to have MC and Ganzi play. They're ready to go, so we're just going to hop right
I already
into
hit
this.
go.
All right.
I was getting sick of listening to you,
Ain't no
Tasteless.
breaks
I just
on
want to
this
watch
crazy
this game.
train.
I am very excited for this. MC playing very well, but he is fresh off a loss to Hart. I hope he doesn't take that loss to Hart.
Oh, I see what you did there. Because it's his ID, but also, oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, all right.
Look at that.
So Ganzi to flat 50% win ratio, PBT. MC a little bit more dominant here with 70%. Actually, to be totally honest, even to have just 70%, that's so high. All right, introducing our players in the red. In the bottom left, we have Slayer's Ganzi, or Cole Ganzi, excuse me. And in the upper right, we have our Protoss player, the Kratos Protoss, yawning in the bottom right side of the screen, MC. MC looks sleepy.
Well, probably is. You know, there is jet lag for all these players. Everyone flew in from Korea, including you and I. And it is a tiring thing to do. But they're playing very well, and especially MC. He had an amazing series earlier today against DRG, just kind of crushed him. It looked great. It was just perfect play. But then he did end up losing to Hart. Only one of the games was a 1-1-1. So Hart having a great tournament so far, really playing quite well. But he's going to have to beat Ganzi. At the same time, Ganzi has to be careful. He's lost to MKP and Huck already, both with 1-2 scores.
It's going to be a pretty cool match, I think. Ganzi, I feel like, is one of these Terran players that tends to be overshadowed by the other Terrans that are slightly more dominant. Players like MVP, for instance. But when you watch Ganzi play, he's definitely got his own style. He's a very smart player. And I think he certainly has a chance. MC is sort of one of the stars of StarCraft 2, being one of the toughest Protosses in the world. I will say MC is probably the favorite here, but that does not mean that Ganzi can't put up a good fight, potentially cause an upset.
Oh, absolutely. MC is beatable. Now, he is going for a Forge, probably a Forge Fast Expand. We'll see in just a second. He's going to make, oh no, he's going to go right for the Gateway. This is actually a map where the Forge Fast Expand is pretty popular on because of that ramp. So MC, though, staying with the older style, which is still completely valid, and obviously one he's a little bit more comfortable with.
Now, as you can see, he's going to have another pylon to put down there pretty soon on the low ground. The gas is on the way. Next thing we're going to see is a cybernetics core. And it looks like Ganzi is about to make the command center, most likely at his expansion.
Upgrade complete.
Yeah, that's pretty standard. Now he has to decide what he does from here with the Protoss going for a Nexus first. You can try to throw up another command center if you want, but if MC does some really quick aggression after this, like a quick 4-gate pressure, then that could be very risky for Ganzi. And oh my god, he's sending a lot of SCVs, and
ooh,
oh my god. He's actually just going to go ahead and try to get a bunker up, Tasteless.
Oh my god, are we really going to see this?
Yes, we are. He's bringing down some more probes, and we'll see if he can actually do it with these probes.
When I first saw the SCVs come out, I was like, oh, Ganzi, you can't transfer your probes or SCVs that quickly.
That's what I was thinking
let's
too.
see if this works. Normally we see stuff like this being tested out against Zergs, but all right, whoop, nice block there.
Very good micro by Ganzi so far. And he's going to have to bring more probes than that because there's a lot of SCVs out here trying to kill off the SCV, but you know, that gives a shooting gallery for the Marines.
All right, he's utilizing that small area down there to have the SCVs cover this. MC's doing a great job so far, but I don't know. Let's see what happens.
And that bunker is going to finish, Tasteless, and that's bad news. The first Stalker is almost out, but now that bunker is actually hitting the Nexus, and Ganzi, I don't know if he'll actually be able to take the Nexus out, but this is definitely highly annoying for MC.
I believe there's actually no way that the Nexus can be saved because, I mean, there's enough SCVs that he can just keep repairing. Stalkers, of course, I don't know, compared to the shields rejetting them after they back up, I just don't know. I don't really know what to say. All right, now Ganzi should not be going outside the bunker. That's a mistake.
Well, you know, the interesting thing about this is the range differential. He can, if the SCVs get too much surface area, start picking those off. But MC is definitely going to try to hold this Nexus. He does not want to lose the Nexus, but at this point, it may happen. Now at home, Ganzi adding some more racks, just keeping up, playing well at home as well. And this is MC's really getting in trouble here, Tasteless.
Yeah,
everything's getting super low.
Again, I just don't think there's a way to stop this. Maybe if he brought all of his probes down and attacked, but then again, I mean, his economy is going to be even more.
He's going to lose the
damage.
Nexus, and he knows it. Unfortunately for him, Ganzi with that SCV pull and with great decision-making in micro is able to take down the Nexus and takes a pretty good lead from there. But, you know, Pro versus SCV count somewhat similar, so, you know, you can take some solace in that. He still does have 4 SCVs over here, but I mean, obviously he does have 2 orbals at home, pumping out mules, mining from 2 locations. So MC is going to have to do something crazy to take this game back, and it looks like he's just choosing to 4-gate.
I'm kind of intrigued by the second bunker down there. It looks like Ganzi, maybe he scanned, but it looks like he basically knows what's coming for him. It's going to make this decision to go for 4 gates a pretty difficult one to pull off.
Well, right now we do have 6 Stalkers out there, and he is trying to get ready for a 4-gate, and that's going to be painful for MC. At this point, he has to be thinking to himself, uh-oh, I'm in a lot of trouble here. Even when he goes down to attack, Ganzi is building bunkers. He should be fine. Now, of course, he will get rid of these bunkers with relative ease, but any units that these bunkers take out is really quite nice.
Wow, look at that. Nice control there by MC. And making sure not to lose any more Stalkers. Still, though, that's got to be annoying. I mean, that's a lot of time lost.
Oh,
His economy's
certainly.
in shambles.
Of course, and we see a Nexus going down. I like that choice. You know, when he lost that pylon for the 4-gate, that made it kind of pointless. What are you going to do? When you break everything down, send a probe down, make a pylon, and then attack? No, you have no timing with that. It's not going to do any damage. And in fact, these Stalkers themselves probably not going to do any real damage here.
Looks like he's going to go over here, try to destroy the rocks, maybe get a better angle on how to get inside the base. But again, I almost feel like it's just too late for MC. He's just taken too much damage. I mean, the game's story sort of ended when the Nexus was destroyed. Now we're watching a Protoss desperately try to claw his way back into somehow being relevant in this game. It's just not happening.
Yeah, well, you know, MC, I don't know exactly what he can go for here because Ganzi has already started his starport. He's getting that reactor for medevacs. Stim is almost done. +1's going to be done. He's going to have combat shields. And he's just going to move out when he has his first 2 medevacs. And that move out against just warp gate units, that's going to be intensely hard for MC to hold on. He's not going to have any sort of splash damage, not any high-end units like Immortals either. And that is, I mean, that's a bad scenario for Protoss.
It's not good, man. It's definitely not good. All right, so we have the sentries and zealots. Let's see, maybe, you know, MC's very good at these kinds of pushes, trying to break the opposing player's entrance. So maybe it'll work, but oh, nice stim.
Oh, wow, I don't
He's
know if this is
him.
good for Ganzi. MC brought a lot of units up here that Ganzi did not know about. Huge battle for MC here, crushing the force of Ganzi. And
me.
Suddenly, Ganzi with one mistake, trying to crush that army.
This may cost him the game.
Yeah, I think it might, Tasteless. He's going to be able to take these bunkers down relatively easily, despite a lot of SCVs coming out to repair.
All right, let's see. Can he get the second bunker?
Well, he only has one marauder.
Wow. Well, he's just doing everything in his power to keep this bunker alive over here. If we can check the HP on that bunker. Yeah.
Well, that bunker is going to stay alive for quite some time, trying to force field a little bit, but his Zealot's not being all that helpful because of that. And, I mean, I think at this point, Ganzi has basically held this. MC lost a little part of the lead that he had going into there, but at this point, he's killed off 17 SCVs, and that is a huge deal.
All right, well, that's a little bit of a comeback there for MC. I'm surprised that Ganzi managed to make a mistake that would allow MC to come back into having a chance after taking such a massive lead.
Well, you know, MC has gotten rid of a big part of his lead. He really needs at least the sentries to help him out for the upcoming attacks of Terran. Those medevacs are going to be coming out, and in fact just popped out. So in a second here, yeah, we're going to see him start off with drop harassment because he has so few units. He wants to keep a lot at home. And then he's going to follow that up with a move out because that drop is going to make sure MC's units are on his side of the map.
All right, double engineering base starting. 1-1 is on the way. What should MC do now, or Toast? Should he expand again, or should he just tech up?
He needs to tech up, and he needs to defend this. That is really the only thing that matters right now. He can't take any real damage from Ganzi right now. So we'll see if this drop can actually get anything done. MC does have a lot of stalkers, a decent amount of zealots, and a few sentries, so he should be fine for now. But if he splits his units wrong with the next army coming up, then it's not going to go well.
All right, dropping down here, he'll take out the pylon and stalker. Ideally, that drop would have been for the main, but it's already been given away. So it looks like instead, Ganzi's going to regroup and try to see if he can't come in for an attack over here on the side, perhaps trying to snipe a sentry or two.
Well, here it comes, Tasteless. There's going to be a drop in the main and a push towards the front. We'll see how MC defends both. I think he has enough units to do everything fine. He is down in supply just slightly, but not a big deal on that.
And here is the drop now inside the Protoss main. Medevac was taken out. At least 2 stalkers are going to go down. Meanwhile, in the middle of the, right outside the entrance.
Oh man, look at this. MC, beautiful force fields there. A blink in as well. Can he actually kill off this army though? His army is still very small, and MC looks like maybe he overcommitted just slightly. Ganzi picking off a lot of units, but no, some good blink micro, and those reinforcements from the main base do help him to clean up the Terran army.
Yeah, really nice play there. He's going to get the medevacs as well. Ganzi just unable to keep that lead. It's kind of sad, actually. I thought the bunker rush on the Nexus was really smart and did a fantastic job. A pretty bold move early on, and it worked. And then to see Ganzi now in this position, it's a bit depressing.
Well, right now the supplies are pretty even. Forges on the way, Templar Archives on the way, and of course Charge. Third base going up for both players. Ganji's a little bit quicker, and it's a planetary, showing that he realizes that he has to be in a somewhat defensive posture right now due to losing units to MC so many times.
All right, MC now pushing out. If you could please check the tech inside the Protoss' main. I'm trying to figure out what exactly he has planned. Okay, so double forges now, and he's getting the Templar Archives.
All right, more gates on the way. The macro going to start picking up here for MC, and in the meantime, this is one thing he's so good at, keeping very active stalkers.
Yes.
Look at this, just staying right in there, but Ganzi is walking around. He's biding his time, and the blink still works. MC just quick enough. Looks like he'll only end up losing 1 stalker.
2, and that blink should put him in the clear. You know, it's funny because I saw the Marines and Marauders loop around. I was positive that they were actually going to end up trapping those stalkers, but really nice by MC getting out the last possible second. Does he have an armory?
Yeah, he does.
He does.
Has
okay.
2-1 actually already.
Okay.
So,
excuse me, 2-1. Okay.
2-1 against the 0-0 upgrades of MC. This is a perfect timing for him to attack. Psystorm and 1-1 all on the way. He literally stims and goes right now, though. Not all that much Protoss can do. Now, Psystorm is getting close to completion, and that's going to be a huge deal for this. Oh, he's going to try to target these down, and he gets them! He gets the High Templars, and that actually should become too much for MC. Losing those High Templars, they're too expensive. The upgrades of Ganzi too good with all of these medevacs. He's going to crush anything sent at him.
Wow, really nice by Ganzi. And with that move, the game is over.
Wow, really well played by Ganzi there. A few mistakes, you know, overcommitting with units twice in that game, but still his superior upgrades and superior tech did end up winning the day. A great SCV rush as well. Guys, what do you think about that game? And I want to ask specifically to QXC about the sending the SCVs with those early Marines.
So that's one of those moves that you make when you feel very, very confident in your Marine micro. Definitely off 1 racks, expanding like that. If you don't feel completely comfortable with being able to micro against those zealots and those probes, that whole thing is just going to be a disaster. And Ganzi worked it really well. He stopped SCV repair and used that little divot below that ramp and got that bunker up. And the bunker is really all you need. Once the bunker goes up, you send most of the SCVs back home, and you just go along with your gameplay. And it worked out really well. One thing that was interesting, and I'm actually pulling up the replay right now so I can look at it, is Ganzi kills that Nexus, and he does kill some probes, but MC doesn't really transfer a whole lot of probes there. So, like, we saw him kill the Nexus, he kills some probes, but he doesn't kill that much, and he loses all of those Marines, those bunkers delay his production back home. And so all of that kind of leads to that weird situation that we had at Ganzi's Natural, where MC had a much bigger army, and Ganzi didn't really realize it because he wasn't totally aware of how much money he had been spending on things that weren't just units or production. He builds 2 bunkers at MC's base, then he builds a bunker at the top of his base. He builds 3 extra supply depots, and that's 3 racks plus a whole bunch of units that he could have had. So I'm looking at the replay right now, and in that early battle, Ganzi loses 4 SCVs and MC loses 6 probes.
Yeah, we're actually. I actually have one more question here. With the number of SCVs sent out, 8, I believe was the number that he sent out. Do you think that's the most ideal number, or should he send more or less?
It is when you have a repair wall, man.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm just wondering because you're losing so much money when you have 8 SCVs that are not mining.
That's true, but tasteless. I mean, one thing related to that, I want to ask Rob Simpson. When he sends 8 SCVs, does the Mule still let him have a better economy than the Protoss?
And you want an honest answer?
Yeah.
An honest answer out of me? Out of this?
Yeah.
We'd have to take exactly a look at just how many harvesters he had at the time. You can never really tell.
All right.
We're going to do a Nas replay analysis. If we have that up, thank you.
Cool.
All right.
So definitely cool things that we want to look at here. The way that Ganzi always brings his Marines back when the probes are attacking, he's never trying to take damage up close. He's always working towards getting that bunker up. And so you can see that's his whole goal. He's just controlling the space around the bunker, always puts an SCV, building that bunker right away. And notice how he focus fires the Zealot.
Yeah.
This whole time, he's always focus firing the Zealot as much as he can, because he knows if Protoss gets 2 or 3 Zealots, he can just A-move and win this battle. But as long as Protoss only has 1 Zealot he can really attack with, you can see he's not able to break this SCV wall. And so Ganzi does a good job there. He kills a bunch of probes, the bunker gets up, and now he can just go to work on that Nexus. And this is the point where, as a Terran player, you say, let me just send some of my SCVs home, because I don't need them anymore. I needed them to get the bunker up, that was the main objective, but now I just need a couple to repair, the rest can go home.
Yeah, very interesting stuff here. We have not really seen bunker rushes done as much in TDP. QXC, how much potential do you think this has in general? I mean, is this something Terran players should really just start doing?
Good Terran players can try it, but again, if you don't have the micro or the control, this is one of those situations where if both players do nothing, the Protoss player will win.
Oh, right, because so much control is needed out of Ganzi to actually make it work.
Those Marines, if they're not controlled perfectly, if they're allowed to get surrounded by the probes, if they're allowed to fight the Zealots head on, they're going to lose that battle. So it's really a matter of how much do you trust yourself to make this kind of attack work. And if you trust yourself enough, you can go for it. Otherwise, don't bother, because it's not going to work.
And, you know, we do have to point out as well, Entombed Valley does have that little nook, that little cranny right there. And without that, this would be much harder to make work. You know, you can pull a few extra probes, get huge surface area, and it's going to be pretty difficult overall.
Yeah. QXC, I have another question. You
are full of questions.
I'm curious about the world. He made 2 bunkers at the bottom of MC's ramp. Now, when I saw that, I thought, why not just salvage the 1 bunker that you had and then you make 3 bunkers back at home.
Okay.
Why make 2 down there and then make 1 back at home? You're essentially, I mean, I don't know. What
I
are your
actually
thoughts?
liked it, but
So I definitely don't agree with ever salvaging that bunker, because let's say Protoss pokes down the ramp and they don't see that bunker anymore, 100% they're going to go. But as long as they see a bunker that attacks them, there's going to be a little bit of doubt in their mind. They don't know how much you've committed to containing them. And so you always keep that bunker. What I would have done if I were Ganzi is don't build that second bunker, hold that contain for maybe 15 or 20 seconds, and then pull all of your units back, leave 1 Marine in the bunker, and go home. And just be safe and macro, because you're going to be in a great position. You've got 2 base economy. Your opponent doesn't have tech. And then once you get that big bio ball, you should basically win the game. So that's kind of my take.
all right. Well, we are ready with this game. Game number 2. Can MC come back and beat Ganji? We will see.
All right, you did it. Artosis started the game. We're going to game number 2, MC against Ganzi.
The neck roll of MC. He's getting ready. Needs to crush this Ganzi character.
Yep. Oh, we saw him do a little. Yep. Shoulder rolls now. Gotta make sure that lactic acid is out of your traps. All right.